You are listening to Musician Today, weekly podcast with Vera Blumenko. Tune in for your insight into a professional musician's life and awesome new music. Welcome everyone to another episode of Musician Today podcast. And as always, we have special treats for you, amazing artists with fantastic music. And today, returning to Musician Today is the singer-songwriter Arianna Mae. Originally, she is from small town of British Columbia, and she pairs catchy melodies with deep, heartfelt nostalgia in her music. Growing up, she began writing her songs as a way of experimenting with popular music in contrast to the classical music that she was taught. And later, she got 2 music degrees, moved across the country. She's also been in Toronto for quite a while. So we met in person last year, and we did a live cover of her songs. She's performed here at best venues and festivals, including the Showcase of the Canadian Music Week in 2019, and with the emerging young artists at the Drake Underground for their A World Away Festival. Arianna independently released her first EP in 2017, Coming Home. And today we're going to get a preview from her second EP, which is about to be released, but we're going to hear the 2 songs that you guys are going to love, I'm sure of it. It was inspired by books, the original EP, and thanks to YouTube project she started in fall 2015 called The New Songs Mondays. So for a year she was reading a book and then writing a song inspired by that book, then filmed it every week to be posted on Monday. So the next EP is coming in sort of like a very similar idea, I guess, yes? All right. So I'm familiar with being inspired by writing on books because my album was also inspired by the books of George Martin. So hi, Arianna, welcome. How are you today?
Hi, Vera. Thanks so much for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm babbling a little bit, but that's because I'm just like too much today. So before I start talking way too much, let's go and follow Arianna on her social media. Find her on YouTube, find her on Instagram at Arianna_Mae_E, on Facebook at Arianna Mae Music, on Twitter at Arianna Mae, _Arianna Mae. You can also now take lessons with her in person or virtually, wherever you like, at the studio at ariannamaestudios.com. You can have online lessons. You can contact her. You can talk about your class. It's going to be amazing. And you can also follow her and her music on her website at ariannamae.com. There, I said it. I did good.
Awesome.
So last time we met, as I said, we were in person and we got to be in the same place. So we got to play music together, which is something that has changed over the course of the past few months as we all have been, quarantined. And on top of it, you have also moved again.
Yeah. Back to BC.
Wow. What can you tell us about the experience? Do you like your new setup? How was it relocating during this difficult time?
Yeah, I love being back in BC. That was always the plan for me. I just didn't really know when. So I'm actually back in my family home, and I've set up a studio here while I save up for a place of my own here in Maple Ridge as well. So it's a familiar space. I've been here before. But yeah, it's been really nice.
That's great. I love that. Well, the views from your video are amazing. So whenever we reshare this replay, people will get to appreciate. It's beautiful. So what would you say has changed with the way that the pandemic started? We had to be quarantined. I know the way we make music has changed. The way we teach music has also changed. What has been the biggest change for you so far?
Yeah, I think the biggest change for me as an artist when all of this started was not being able to create with others. I really don't like creating on my own necessarily. Like I like to be able to lay out the bones myself, maybe on my own, but I like to work with other people, and that was something that I didn't really do any of for a really long time. I did some virtual stuff, like I was able to do a granted performance for the National Arts Council on Instagram Live with some movement artists, which was awesome, super, super cool. It's still up. It was called Space Jam. So if you're interested in that, go check that out on my Instagram TV. But I was also in the middle of an RBC Artist Entrepreneur Program with Daniel's Artscape Launchpad, and luckily that moved online. So I was still able to kind of do that and meet people that way. But I think, as with a lot of other people, it was very isolating all of a sudden. And my roommate wasn't even home. Like, I was just in an apartment alone for like 4 or 5 months. Yeah, so that was very different for me. I'm a very social person where I like to be around people, even just one other person. Yeah, so I would say those are the things that changed the most.
Right. I think that's the most difficult part, is just be able to be in the same room and make music and kind of touch the other person, be like, hey, that's what I want. Let's do this. Let's do a track together and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's definitely changed a lot. And what can you tell us about teaching online? Was this your first experience teaching online, and you've done it before? And how is it different for vocal lessons?
Yeah. So I had taught online in the past a little bit over, I think it was Skype. The studio that I was teaching at in Toronto always had that option. If people were running late, stuck in traffic, they could Skype in on their phone. Or if I had students who had to move back to Peru for a little while, and so I was teaching them online as well. So it was something that I'd done a little bit of, but not as extensively as over the summer, and now also here in BC. But I really like it. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great way to connect with teachers and students that otherwise we wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity. I remember classical singers, opera singers travel to work with teachers.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden to be able to work with anybody, anywhere, almost. I think that's a really awesome thing. And I think that's a level of connection that's come out of a very isolating time. So I really enjoy teaching online, and I plan to continue doing it for as long as possible.
That's great. Yeah, I love it too. It's new, but in a way it kind of helps me reevaluate what I'm doing as well. It helps me pace myself. I oftentimes, I'm a very physical teacher, so I would rather show than talk about it. So yeah, it helped me kind of shift and pace myself throughout the lesson a little differently, which was interesting, I thought. And I was like, oh, this is new. So that so your EP will be coming out later. So far we have 2 singles.
Yeah.
Wildfire, and I know that my string playing is on it. So yay, you guys tuned in. I'm in this track. It was great working on it. I remember going to the studio and you guys were so nice and everything, and I really felt like a celebrity when I was there. So it was nice. It was really great, and I love the song. So before we play it, do you want to say a couple words?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that the first EP that I released in 2017 was inspired by books, but this one isn't. So this song, Wildfire, is actually inspired by the young love that I never had.
Oh, cool. That's great. That's great. Personal.
Yeah, it's like a fairy tale kind of, typical young love story with a bit of a twist.
That's amazing. And there's a music video on YouTube, so you can go watch it. Wildfire by Arianna Mae. It's beautiful. I was watching it last night. I was like, oh. Okay, so here we go. There's Wildfire.
There is a house at the end of a road. It's a place that I dream of. It's a place that I go, throwing rocks at your window, hand in hand through the trees. Love hotter than a wildfire. You were made for me. I can still hear your voice in the way you say my name. Standing here, I know exactly what you'll say. Put up your feet and stay a while. Been so long since I've seen that smile. Take off your coat and stay a while. Been so long since I've seen you smile. There is a tree, names in its heart. Summer afternoons never apart. But days are coming and the world just called my name. Love hotter than a wildfire. You know I can't stay. your feet and stay away. Been so long since I've seen that smile. Take off your coat and stay away. Been so long since I've seen you smile. Put up your feet and stay away. Been so long since I've seen you
Woohoo! That was awesome. I love it. So yeah, it's funny how Wildfire, we probably only hear it at the beginning, this whole word. That's really cool. So can we get this song on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere? So guys, go ahead and look up Wildfire by Arianna Mae. Get it, download it, enjoy it. So what was it like, other than the part that I know that I was in the studio, what was it like working on this? Like, how did you come up with your idea? Did you have a melody in your head, or you just have like a beat sort of? Yeah.
Yeah, so I had written a version of this song, and then my wonderful producer Michael Kondikow kind of tweaked a few things, a couple of melodic things, take out these words kind of thing, and really brought the arrangement to life. And so I would say that it was definitely a partnership in terms of like the sound and the arrangement between the two of us, for sure. I didn't really think it was going to be as country as it ended up being.
I love it.
Yeah, I think I really like that song. Super proud of it. And I love your part, Vera. It sounds so good.
Thank you. Thank you. I heard that in the bridge. I was like, yes. Yeah, that was beautiful. Excellent. Thank you. Why don't we listen to another one? Okay. And then you can tell us a little bit more about writing that one. So this is Make It Quick. So the two singles are up on iTunes, on Spotify, Google Play, yes, everywhere, all the platforms. So go, guys, Google it. Just download it where you listen to music. Here's Make It Quick.
We are the same kind of broken, whispers on lips, same words are spoken. How can I resist? Smoke in my hair, on my clothes, it's so simple. Wash it away, I still feel the same. Oh, but I'm clean again. There's something in my eyes. Love has made me blind. I can't change your mind. Isn't my first time. You it, make it quick. If this is it, make it quick. I let you in 'cause you figured me out, intoxicated with words from your mouth. If this is it, make it quick. If this is it, make it quick. 'Cause I let you in, I let you in, I let you in, I let you in, you figured me out.
Yay! Beautiful. Love it. And it's like, I love the emotion in your music. It's always so like, it gives me kind of like goosebumps listening to your lyrics. Yeah. It's so, it's look, it's relatable. Obviously, we all go through the same emotions in our lives. And that's amazing how you just put it together. So, how was it working on this piece? So did you, yeah, is it also like a co-write or you mostly wrote it on your own? Yeah.
This one was more of a co-write actually than the other one.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I had played another song for Mike, and he was like, "Oh, I like this one line." So then we were like, "Oh, let's make something new." And so he kind of put the chords together and the arrangement, and then I came up with melody and lyrics, and then we kind of tweaked from that, kind of picked different things. So that one was really, really a co-write for sure.
Nice, nice. I love it. It works really well. And I love that middle section. I love the bridges in your music. It's just like they take you in a totally different world. And then we're back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was
great thing about bridges. You bring in new material and it can be totally wacky. And
exactly. I love it. It ties in so well. And yeah, it's funny that you say you didn't intend for your Wildfire to be country, but I think it's just it's funny, but I think whenever we talk about home, coming home, or anything like that, it's going to sound country.
I guess so. Yeah, there's something about that material. And I do listen to a ton of country. Like I love country music. So it's inevitable that it's gonna sneak in there somewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great. Well, I love it. I love your work. I love your attitude about this whole thing. And you know, how do you get inspired? So I know books are probably one of the first things, right? What about so this song? Of course, it was written from personal experience, but how do you get inspired for thematic material, for melody, for song, for anything in your music?
Yeah, so I usually start with melody. So I sit at the piano and I kind of improvise. And then I'll make little notes in my notebook of like a chord progression that I like. And I'll make voice memos. So then when I used to be on the bus or the subway or walking home from work, I would just listen to those voice memos and kind of make more notes. And usually the vocal line would then come from something I'd already written on the piano.
Nice. I can relate to that. I make memos and notes like all the time, and then there's too many notes.
Them up because I'm worried that if something happens to my phone, I'm gonna lose them.
Oh
So,
yeah, I email them to myself.
I email them to myself and put them in Google Drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
High five. That's it. Great. So throughout this quarantine and pandemic and everything, I know we've all had to adjust. So what would be some of the advice that you would give to younger musicians who are managing their careers at this time, who are starting new projects, who are going to the industry at this big time of change? What would be your biggest advice for them?
Yeah, I would say, right. One of the things that I really noticed when all of this started was the pressure to produce content and just put it out there because it seemed like all of a sudden there was this, I don't know, there was just a flood of art, which is awesome, online everywhere. And I was one of those artists who at the beginning creating was not something that I wanted to be doing. I needed to sit and assess and kind of evaluate this new way of life.
Yeah.
And I would say to artists who are getting started or looking for advice right now, I would say do your best. Don't compare your best to the best of somebody else who probably had content lined up for months before this all started. And to really you can. Yeah, do your best and do what you can. I'm saying this to myself because I still feel that pressure. Like even with the concerts I did this summer, like it doesn't feel like enough, but I also have to be aware of, yeah, like what I can do, what I can handle right now, and what I, the content, making content the way that I want to make it, which is really high quality, and not just putting out sub-quality work for the sake of putting it out because everyone else is putting out stuff. And so that would be my advice for right now.
That's spot on. I completely agree. I felt that pressure from day one, and I was like, okay, quarantine, gotta put stuff out.
Yeah, but you're doing an awesome job. You said you've got like a concert series coming up.
Thank you. Yes, that's coming up. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. This will be the first time I'm doing online concerts, and we were initially going to do like live shows where in person, but now with everything else going on, so yeah. You guys join us October 20th. That'll be the first show, and I'll be making lots of posts about that and probably do a separate episode as well. So that's spot on. Thank you, Arianna. I completely agree that we shouldn't stress out and compare ourselves with others and just focus on your thing, your brand, your true passion. And that's even just in general, if we didn't have the pandemic, if we were going at a steady pace like we were going, that's always the overwhelm that I find myself facing every day. Like once I'm about to post something like, okay, I should do this and this and this, and there's way too much to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes sense. Just be true to you, be realistic with the expectations you have for yourself. Don't burn out. Something I do a lot, and I know we all do that. So we have to pace ourselves and make sure that we're also listening to our well-being, our body, our health, and only then we can truly bring the best content out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I feel like it went by really quick, but I would love to connect again whenever you have another song or a video or anything else. Let me know. We'll have you back again and we'll talk about it. We'll show it to people. So, and before we go, guys, don't forget, watch Wildfire on YouTube. Download the song. Also watch the Make It Quick. It's also on iTunes, Spotify, everywhere, all downloadable platforms, whatever you're listening to usually. And you can also find Arianna on her website at ariannamae.com, on YouTube at Arianna Mae, and look up her music. On Instagram, Arianna_Mae_E. On Facebook, Arianna Mae Music. On Twitter, _Arianna Mae. And you can take lessons with her as well, online or in person, wherever you are. AriannaMaeStudios.com. It's a beautiful site. I went there recently. I was like, cool. Here we go. And of course, don't forget to tune in for our next episode. We'll have another amazing artist, and we hope to see you soon. I hope to see you guys in my concert series. So thank you so much for being here, Arianna. I know you still have a gift from me that you never picked out while you were in Toronto. So I'm gonna be mailing it to you.
Right?
It was this warrior themed mug with like a sword and violin.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll be writing to you shortly with your address, home address.
Thank you so much for having me. What you're doing is incredible, and I really appreciate you having me back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming back. So it's great to hear from you. Great to hear your music. So please keep creating, collaborating, anything, whenever, if you'd like to do a collaboration, I'll be so happy to do that.
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. Here we go, guys. Have an amazing week.
Take off your coat.